Hello there, my name's James Morton and I'm the author of How Baking Works and What to Do When It Doesn't. And I'm here today for the Happy Foodie YouTube channel to talk about meringues. Today we're going to do a very simple base French meringue, which you can use for pretty much any recipe out there. In fact, if you see any recipe on the internet, just change it with my one and it'll turn out much better. All you need are egg whites and caster sugar. And we want to set our oven to about 120 degrees or 100 degrees if it's a fan oven. The first thing when you're making meringues is to line your tray. Now this illustrates a very important point. No fat should get anywhere near your egg whites. So no greasing whatsoever. So what I'm going to use is non-stick baking paper, baking parchment, and we just need to put that straight onto our baking tray. And that's all you need, that's ready to go. So very, very clean bowl. The rule for meringue is glass, stainless steel, or ceramic. Avoid plastic or silicone as much as you can because they can trap a lot of fat. And that fat can get into your mix and cause you to have horrible, saggy, droopy, flat meringues, and we don't want that. The next thing we're going to do is separate the eggs. Now, I'm going to use 4 eggs for the recipe today, and I'm going to show you my way of doing it. Lots of people have different ways that are usually quite messy, but I think we can use the eggshell to its best ability. So the first thing is we're going to crack it. Some people like to do it on the side of the bowl. I'm going to do it on the counter because there's less chance of the eggshell splitting. So I'm going to put it there, and then just going to break it apart over the bowl and catch the yolk in one side. Pass the yolk to the other side of the shell and just keep doing that until you've got as much of the white as you can or the yolk breaks. And if you see the yolk breaking, just pop it with the rest of the yolks. If you do get a wee bit of yolk in with your whites, take a spoon or you can use a bit of eggshell and just scoop it out. Now it'll take you a few goes to get all of it. It's really important to get every bit of yolk out that you can because the yolk contains quite a lot of fat. Now we have our separated egg whites, we want to whisk them. And we want to get them to a stage called stiff peaks, which is where they will stand up all by themselves. I could lift them above my head and they wouldn't fall down. We want to put the mixture on as high as it goes, and this will take a couple of minutes probably. So this is kind of what we're after before adding the sugar. The meringue holds its shape, looks very, very light and fluffy, and we're just at this stage, we want to start adding the sugar 1 teaspoon at a time. Now you might have heard to add it 1 tablespoon at a time, but 1 teaspoon, it really means we can go as fast as we like because a teaspoon's pretty small, and this will give us the fluffiest, lightest meringue possible. If you make a horrible mess and get meringue all up the sides of the bowl, take a metal spoon and just mix it in. You'll find that a lot of the sugar gets sprayed up the side of the bowl as well, and if you don't mix it in, it can not fully dissolve in your meringue. So just get it all mixed. Once you've added all the sugar, keep whisking. Just keep going for at least another minute and you'll have even lighter meringues. You really want to make sure that all the sugar is very much dissolved in the egg whites as well, or else you have little crystals of sugar left and they can form caramelly beads on the outside of the meringue, which we do not want. So as you can see, we have an altogether different beast now. It's super, super shiny. So test, as always, hold it above your head. And I don't think I'm covered in meringue. So this meringue has passed the test. The last step is just to splodge it onto your prepared baking tray and bake it. Again, use a metal spoon. You can pipe it if you like, but it's not so rustic looking, is it? So out of 4 egg whites, I've got 6 quite sizable meringues. The next step is to bake them. We're going to bake them in a very cool oven, 120 degrees or 100 degrees fan. They will take quite a long time, usually about 2 hours, could be a wee bit longer depending on your oven. You'll know when they're done when they are a light beige colour, and if you poke them, they'll be crisp. If you put your finger straight through them, give them another 15 minutes to harden up a little bit more. If your meringues are flat, you've got a bit of fat in there. If they're just tasting a bit funny, it's likely the flavours come from your dirty oven. If they've got beads on the outside, beads of caramel, then you've just got to whisk in your sugar a wee bit better. And if they're jaw-crunchingly chewy, then just got to make meringues on a less humid day. Hope you'll agree they're pretty easy and super versatile. You can make tiny wee meringue kisses all the way up to massive kiwi pavlovas, a recipe for which you can find in my book, on the Happy Foodie website, and on the link below. Happy baking. And then cut out the middle one. I would recommend putting a wee bit of paper down, the rebel I am. They are definitely worth it in the end, I hope you'll agree.